How did I find out that my mom was a witch and she cursed me at birth? A few days ago, I posted a video about how when my mom passed away, it almost felt like a veil was lifted off of my life. And that doing a bunch of research, I actually found out that my mom was a practicing witch who had cursed me when I was born. And I've received a lot of messages on how did I find this information out? Honestly, there have been signs my whole life. For one, my mom actively told me she did not want me and that I was never a planned pregnancy from day one. I actually met one of her friends one time and she told me, "I will never forget the day that your mom told me she was pregnant with you and all she did was cry." Growing up, I often saw darkness in my home. My sister, who is 4 years older than me, also often saw darkness in our home. And she was actually more of a protector for me than a sister. She often would have dreams of me dying, and then the next day would end up saving my life in the same scenario. I always felt this weird bond to my mom that I almost owed her my life. I never really understood it. People often told me it was a trauma bond, but it was so much more than this. It was like I've had trauma bonds before, and this was different. This was like an unbreakable bond. It was an unbreakable connection. It was the weirdest feeling. It wasn't love. Growing up, our mom would often tell us stories about how she came across witches in the dark, or ghost stories, or how our aunt was a witch, or how her grandma was a witch. But she would always claim herself to be a Christian. But it was when I was 35 years old and I truly, with my own eyes, saw a demon next to my mother that I knew something was different. I began praying that the scales would fall off my eyes and the veils would be lifted, which is why I believe when she died, the veil lifted from my life. The curse broke. Whenever I talk about this, I have a lot of witches that come into my comment section or into my messages and tell me that I am spreading a false narrative of what witches do. And I want you to know that this is true life story of mine. And if that's not how you treat people, that's great. But that's not all witches. How can I believe in Jesus if I was raised by a witch? Because the only thing that ever stopped all the weird stuff in my life was rebuking it with the name of Jesus Christ. Like, I tried the occult stuff once and it never changed the things in my life like when I used rebuking it with Jesus Christ. You see, I believe wholeheartedly in witchcraft and Satanism and using curses on people. The Bible tells it to us that we curse others with our tongue and that witchcraft is real. But what I choose to do is I choose to fight witchcraft with the power of Jesus Christ. When I started rebuking my mom's ways of living with the name of Jesus Christ, it was very obvious that something else was there. Yes, I did get worldly confirmation that she was a witch, practicing witch, and she believed she was cursing me. But the biggest confirmation for me and the most important confirmation for me is that spiritually I have had a confirmation that she truly cursed me and I have broken free of that curse in my life. Now, mind you, this does not make me love my mom any less. I still love my mother and I don't have any anger or resentment towards her. And in all honesty, I feel sad for her that she had to live in such darkness.